Well, here we go, Mr. Fernandez. We got ourselves a show happening right now. Episode 61 of Rule of Two is here.
61. So look, I know a bunch of people came with, at me with like Chuck Bernadick and a few other players, but
we retired the jerseys.
I just 61. I mean, like you guys sent me some names we could use, but yeah.
Yeah. But we wanted to start this show by talking a little bit about the heroes and villains little video that we did.
Yeah.
That I thought turned out fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
I thought it was fun.
A lot of you enjoyed it. Hit us up. We had some good Rule of Two stuff happening in there.
Yeah.
Some alternate endings there that you could vote on, which I loved both of them. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, look, when you, me, and Frank came up with it, and we were like, let's do this. Let's have some fun with it. And I think what I love the most about it, it's like, look, none of us know how to fight with lightsabers for real. In my imagination, only in your head.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You're
probably right.
But what I wanted to do was to make something that felt like it was using all the DNA of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that you can understand what was going on with the story with very, very few words.
Right.
Yeah. And like there's definitely a story there.
There is. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. And I love the reveal that Darina was always on our side. I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, spoilers for those who might not have watched it. But guess what?
Yeah, go
now
watch
you can.
it.
Go watch it. It's a lot of fun. It's just setting up everything, that we are doing here, having fun, all that good stuff. Wearing the merch, which was great.
Yeah, wearing the merch. And look, it's just like we wanted to go out with a bang with heroes, villains, and hopefully they'll re-up. So if you guys are fans of the show and you want to see us succeed, you want to see things get better, you want to see us be able to do more things like that.
Yeah.
Tweet at BioWorld merch. Let them know, hey, we love these guys. We love you guys on the show. We love this partnership. Push it,
Push it, yeah, absolutely. You can write that, but like as he said, at BioWorld merch. That's where you can tag him and thank him for giving us that opportunity. And because the BioWorld merch has responded to many tweets when I actually yelled at Josh McCouga saying Jedi do not smile and to stop smiling.
Right.
But that's beside the point.
Yeah, and like, look, special shout out to everybody involved, and literally everybody was involved.
Yeah.
And Adam. Our sound guy was just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
The music was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, it was out of this world. Literally, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Frank
killed it as always.
Come on, Frank, as always, and everybody for playing and coming and having that fun day because that was a fun shoot.
It was a fun shoot.
That was a really
fun shoot. I feel like we're not saying something about it that we should say. Like,
what, that I was killed for being too positive or liking The Last Jedi?
Right.
How's that?
Oh, and look, and we had the deep fake stuff in there.
Oh yeah.
I know a lot of people are giving me a little bit of crap for like the deep fake stuff, but I love this deep fake stuff. I want to see how far we can push it.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at stuff like SNL, and SNL has made its living off doing impersonations, out of doing lampooning, the zeitgeist. I think deep fake kind of gives that next level of production, the ability to go out there and do like pretty dead-on lampoons. I love the way that our good friend, who will remain nameless because it's a promise I made to him, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, he did a great job.
He did a great job, and your George Lucas was fantastic, by the way. He was really good.
George
was really good.
George was like a skinny, young version of Lucas.
Yeah, he really was. Great hair on him.
Great hair.
Great head of hair.
Yeah.
So thanks to George Lucas for stopping by on that one. As you can see, we already have some super chats coming in. You guys know it. We are going to open up the phone lines and also take your questions super chat wise because we just want to talk Star Wars now.
Look, we don't have. There's not a ton of stuff to talk about, so we're going to go full audience episode. You guys are the reason we're here anyway.
Yep, absolutely.
We want to create a deeper dialogue with you guys. Let's make this an audience episode. We're going to do a lot of these. When there's not a ton of news, we'll just have conversations with you guys.
So let's get to it. You want him?
Let's do it.
All right, we got episode 61 of Rule of Two.
Rise.
That's right. It's episode 61 of Rule of Two, and there was our new opening. Oh my God!
We did a new opening. Do you guys like the new opening? Comment on the live chat. Let us know.
Yeah.
Comment down below as well.
And our first super chat does come in from Matt Movies 611, who says, "Great video, always going to be a team Rule of Two." So thank you for that. I just wanted to read that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Team Rule of Two. I do want to add real quick. Did you see all the sponsorships that's going along with Rise of Skywalker? One of them being McDonald's. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
they are definitely listening to us. They have to be.
Why aren't they sponsoring us? We need it.
Yeah,
we need it.
It could be really fun. We got the Rule of Two Army in the chat. I saw the Big Macs. Lots of Big Mac emojis coming my way because the Big Mac is, of course, 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, which is the Force or the Jedi that we love.
And one thing before we get started doing the super chat, and we're going to go full-on super chat today. We're going to go full-on call-ins today, so do both.
Sure.
You know, let's have some dialogue. But I do want to let everybody know to go. I'm not sure what the link is. Maybe we'll put the link down below in the description or something.
Sure.
But go vote for the top 10 Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
If you follow Collider, you know that we did the top 50 comic book movies. Then we did, I think, the top 10 horror movies. We did the top 10 Steven Spielberg movies. Well, we're going to do the top 10 Star Wars movies, but nobody from Collider gets a vote. The only people that get to vote are you, the audience, the fans, the people that we do this for. We want to know what your list is. As of yesterday, we had almost 2.7 thousand votes.
Yeah. Oh my God, are you kidding?
2.7 thousand people actually did everything that they needed to do to vote. They got their voices heard. They won't. I asked Thad. I go, Thad, what's the tally at? He won't tell me.
Yeah.
They won't tell us.
No, I know. I wanted to know. I really do because I love the idea of it's you guys. They're going to vote. We're going to see it. So my face is either going to be elated when The Last Jedi is high up on the list, or it's going to fall if it's all the way at the bottom. So, and there might be a middle ground there. I don't know.
You've done that yourself, Reilly.
Well, you know, somebody asked me. I can at least hint my top 3 because somebody was surprised because I do like myself The Last Jedi, but somebody asked, "What are your top 3?" And I went, "Well, it's Empire, New Hope, and Return of the Jedi."
Right.
And they went, "It's like what? Nostalgia, man. That's the it's my thing." So. You already know 3 of the votes I would go for, but I'm excited for all of you to vote. So thank you for that. Go check it out. We will tweet out the link. You can visit collider.com. It's on there as well. And we will put something in the description here. But you want to get that first super chat question that I saw come in? Because it's a good one. It's from John Osborne. It says, "Why were people surprised at Rey's lightsaber skills? She used a staff, which the technique would be similar to a lightsaber." I wasn't surprised. Yeah, I would go off of because... Yeah, I know everybody gave Rey a lot of shit for looking all powerful right away, but I always went to the fact that she was a scavenger. She had to make her way on Jakku, do those things, and a staff was part of her repertoire. So she had some skills going into it. Now, Rise of Skywalker, I do hear there might be some stuff floating out there rumor-wise that is absolutely not news. That's why I don't want to mention it. Could be spoilers, but I've heard we might hear why she's damn good at stuff. What do you think of that? You don't care.
I mean,
your face. Your face doesn't care.
I do care, but look, at the end of the day,
you just went off into the distance.
Yeah,
you're like,
I'm over it. I'm over it. I want this movie. Look, to be honest with you, and I know a lot of people didn't buy my theory last week. I am so convinced that Kevin Feige is going to give us the Lucas vision. That I'm like, JJ, give us the best that you can with this movie. Make it great.
You know, yeah.
And let's put this sequel experiment behind us, because I have seen stuff coming out of Disney which troubles me, which says, we can't wait for the epic conclusion to the Skywalker saga.
Right.
Now, I've heard that before with Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
The final chapter in the Skywalker saga.
Right.
And it wasn't. I don't believe that this is the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. Because there was no Skywalker saga.
Are you talking about the sequels? They're not the Skywalker saga?
The sequels. Yeah, the sequels are not the Skywalker saga.
No, well, let's see.
Because the Skywalkers themselves aren't really going through any saga-esque anything.
Yeah, Ben Solo is really not going through a lot of stuff right now.
So
he's Skywalker.
So we're saying that the Skywalker saga then pivoted over to Ben Solo?
Well, he is a Skywalker lineage.
Because if you ask anybody on the street, you say, hey, the Skywalker saga.
Right.
Like, you're not thinking Ben Solo, even though I'm with you that he's the only Skywalker we really have left.
Right. And I get it. I get that kind of talk about it. But I'm waiting for Rise of Skywalker before I finally start talking about this and dealing with this kind of – because of what I've been getting, and I'm starting to get – I know I'm really nice.
Yeah.
Call it cranky. Call it, going to the dark side. Yeah. This nitpicky shit is starting to get to me. It really is. It's like, well, actually, it's not the Skywalker saga because, oh my God. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. And then it comes again. And it's like, Jesus Christ, people, go outside and have some fun. Smell some flowers.
Yeah.
This is, come on.
So, look, I stick by my, douchey statement that it has nothing to do with the Skywalker saga because we saw Luke for 10 minutes maybe. And Ben Solo, look, if it is the saga of Ben Solo, then great, because I actually do think Ben Solo is the most compelling character so far.
He is my favorite.
And, and hopefully he'll have a really interesting resolution in Episode 9. But rapid fire style, why were people surprised at Rey lightsaber skills?
We answered that.
Staff?
Oh, yeah. You're going back to it. Sorry.
Yeah. Just to give you my little sort of button on it, I think they were surprised because the lightsaber is not just a weapon. It's not just like a sword,
It's an elegant weapon for a more civilized time.
Yeah, but it's also a very powerful weapon that we don't know like what it takes to control it, how heavy it is, like what it does when you move it through space. Yeah. Look, I mean, back in the old days, we used to think that nobody that wasn't force sensitive could even hold one.
It's very true. I
right?
mean,
Han Solo was the only abomination, like the only exception to that rule.
Right. I think it makes a lot of sense to me to like go into that as to why she could be as powerful in Rise of Skywalker. Maybe there's some flashbacks, maybe there's something, but I'm with you halfway. There's also some certain things that I wonder if they'll uncover in Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
That might have to do with Palpatine, but that's another podcast for another time and something that we can go down. I'm looking for the rankings, guys, because I see a lot of you asking, so I'm going to drop it in the chat.
What rankings?
How you can vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I put the link in the description.
Thank you, Cody. So if you go to the description right now, you can get that link and you can vote. And vote honestly, too. Seriously, if you guys hate The Last Jedi and you're voting, make it known.
Yeah.
If you love it, great.
If you guys want to get a special shout out on the show, you will vote The Last Jedi last.
You son of a bitch.
I'm just kidding. All right, so we got one. Oh, we got a call. Let's take the caller and then let's do Daniel Castro's question. Daniel came in with a blazing hot super chat.
Yep, there we go. So you're on Rule of Two. What's your name? What's your question?
Hi, this is Stephanie.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hi. So I've been thinking about this a lot lately with the announcement of Kevin Feige producing a Star Wars movie or potentially more. I've really felt with this last, with the Disney acquisition that these movies have been a real cash grab. Because George Lucas, his art form is film.
Right.
And when he created Star Wars, it was his way of telling a story through film. And it just has felt to me like there's no depth to any of these stories anymore. Like, Solo in my opinion, did not need to be made.
Yeah, I'm with you on
Last
that.
Jedi really brought that, I really liked Force Awakens, but Last Jedi brought the narrative to a screeching halt.
Yeah, to a screeching holdo.
It's a big cash grab, and I miss the days when we had, when there was depth to the story and the universe felt really large. And I'm not sure what the plans are going forward. Like, if they do a Knights of the Old Republic series, that excites me because it's like a reboot of the franchise where we're getting new characters, getting a new story.
Right.
But it just feels like right now they're staying in this small box that just for money, just like with Kevin Feige, Marvel's great and they're good at what they do, but to me it's shallow and it's there to shove popcorn in your face, and the movies are good, but that's not what Star Wars is. in my opinion. It's a story that George Lucas told, as like Lord of the Rings was for J.R.R. Tolkien, but in film form.
So I totally hear you, and I think there's a lot of people out there that feel the same exact way you do. But before we go here, do you have a question related to this topic?
Just what do you think of that? And then, if you think Kevin Feige is going to make the franchise go forward in a positive way, or do you think it's going to become this big? We get a lot of movies that are kind of just face value.
Yeah, fair enough.
I hear you. Thanks, Stephanie, for the call.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
I think that that's kind of where they're going with Kevin Feige. I think that's why Kevin Feige is coming on to do a Star Wars movie, and I think why that sooner or later he will take over Star Wars. I believe it.
I think so too.
I think a lot of people believe that. I think a lot of people are saying that the signs are pointed in that direction. And we'll see what the movie is that he does. But I've been saying we do have to get away from nostalgia characters or the legacy characters.
We got to move forward. I'm 1,000% with you.
We have to move forward. We can't, because then you're going to start to see what even happened with me. You have a legacy character in Han Solo, even though he was recast. I felt somewhat disappointed that I wasn't getting any new information or new pushes in technology like you like to talk about. Mm-hmm. It just felt very, I've been here before. I liked all the characters. That wasn't my problem. I liked all the effects. It just felt safe. And when Ron Howard comes in after firing Lord and Miller would have been the movie I want to see, because that is not safe to me. Yeah. They had something, as you saw with Into the Spider-Verse. They did something with the 21 Jump Street franchise.
They're great.
And I wanted to see more of that. So I feel like we need to move away from that in order to do it. However, I could see Feige doing something in the legacy character world, maybe as almost like it makes me think. I want to get my friend to call in, Eric Bass. He's the bass player for Shinedown. He had a great theory that Feige is going to do a Luke Skywalker movie set before the events of Force Awakens to give everybody their Luke Skywalker movie that they wanted. I love that idea too. You know me.
So look, I went to one of these poolside parties with Jeff Snyder.
Oh,
okay.
All right.
And I started hearing some stuff.
Okay.
Now, Jeff Snyder, if you guys don't know who Jeff Snyder is, he's one of Collider's reporters. Yeah. He's also an on-screen personality.
He's dialed in when it comes to scoops.
You can catch him on Rumor Mill. You can catch him on everything. So
the Snyder Cut.
It's the Snyder Cut. He didn't tell me this rumor himself, but I heard it around him, sort of, is that Kevin Feige is giving Marvel to one of his proteges.
Okay.
And they will handle the next phases of Marvel. He'll still be involved, but he won't be as hands-on anymore.
Okay.
And that he will start transitioning over to full-time Star Wars. Now, this is what
makes
the buzz
a lot
is.
of sense.
It hasn't been announced. This isn't confirmed. This is just complete and total speculation.
Okay.
But it's coming from the different circles that I'm starting to my ears are perking up and I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
Now, to what the caller's point is, I do think Kevin Feige is going to try to redeem Star Wars in a sense by bringing it closer to the brand values that George Lucas had for it. Now, whether you like the Lucas movies or not, and if you don't really like the Lucas movies, then it's tough to say you like Star Wars, even though I totally get it. I had my prequel angst as well when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
They did grow on me.
Yeah.
Not 3. I always loved 3. 1 and 2 grew on on me.
Yeah, the prequels grew on me too years later.
3, I loved it from the beginning. 1 and 2 grew on me. Mm-hmm. But I do think that Kevin Feige understands the pillars, the brand pillars that Lucas has for the franchise.
Yes.
And I think with Bob Iger and his book tour and all this stuff, that this is definitely that the path forward for Star Wars is a path of redemption.
Here's what I want to add on to that, and then we're going to get to this.
Let's get it. Yeah, we got people sending
I know.
in. Yeah, let's do it.
Kevin, the Empire article that came out.
Yep.
J.J. Abrams was quoted saying, "We didn't have a plan. We went in, I wrote Force Awakens, handed it off to Rian Johnson, who didn't have a plan for 9, did what he wanted in Episode 8, and J.J. had to come back in and then do what he wanted to do." Kevin Feige is not going to do a movie trilogy without some sort of plan, and that's on Kathleen Kennedy, and that's why I feel like Lucasfilm ultimately dropped the ball, is that you don't go forward and just go, do your movie, and then we'll figure out what the next movie is, and then
Right.
we'll figure out what the next movie is. That's why Kevin Feige is going to come in.
Right.
He knows world building,
isn't-
mythology.
This isn't some weird anthology series. This
No.
isn't. This isn't amazing stories.
Yes. It's
Throwback to
This is why Kevin Feige, I think, will come in because he is planning 22 movies ahead.
Yeah.
To make Marvel work in his universe that he saw, and I think he can do the same for Star Wars. So let's get to Daniel Castro's.
Let's do it.
Okay. Hey, guys, love the show. So one thing I want to see in Star Wars is the origins of the Jedi and the Sith. We might not need it, but I really want to see the story play out on screen. What do you think? Yes. I want that. I've been saying the first Jedi for a long time now.
The first Jedi. You have been saying the first Jedi for a long time.
I love the idea of the first, ooh, how'd I do that? You know what I mean? What is it like back then? That might be a little too hard to wrap your head around. I don't know where it lands, and if there is even canon, way back when, to the very first person that knew they had the Force, what that might be like, or if we're going to go right into the origins of the first Jedi Order. Who knows?
I'm totally in on this idea, Daniel. I think that it would make a great TV show. I think it'd make a great novel. The origins of the Jedi, the origins of the Force, the first Jedi, as you call it.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that. I mean, I have no ideas for what it would be, and I can't even find references, except some of the old Republic stuff does get into the pretty early days. And they have explored a lot of that, like the earliest versions of the lightsaber, and even in Vader Immortal. If you guys are Vader Immortal fans, like the VR game, there's an ancient lightsaber that you collect underneath the temple at Mustafar.
I love that.
Yeah.
I would love to see it almost like Lord of the Rings with Cate Blanchett, who's narrating the war that happens with the ring and how Isildur gets it and all these things are happening. Go even further back in time of Star Wars.
That's my favorite scene in Lord of the Rings, is that opening.
It's great.
For the first one, yeah.
And then I showed, off of a Collider Live conversation we were having, I showed Josh McCouga some of the video game online stuff where they showed the Sith armies fighting the Jedi in that old Republic world. And he's like, now I'd see this.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
course.
I'd love to see a bunch of Sith lightsabers light up in the darkness, and it's an army.
Yeah.
And you get a Braveheart, Lord of the Rings kind of thing going.
And that's what we got excited about Benioff and Weiss, right? And now Benioff and Weiss might not even do a movie.
There's no news.
It's up in the air.
It went from all three. Yeah, it went from all three to them just writing a treatment for the first, and now
they might not even do it. We've been hearing things.
Yeah, we have actually. You've heard that too, huh? I didn't say shit.
I know. You didn't.
Oh my God!
I've been hearing things.
All right. Well, we got a call. You're on Rule of Two. What's your name? What's your question?
Hey guys, Kevin from Ontario. How you doing?
Hey Kev,
how's it
good?
going, Kev?
What's your question today, Kevin?
So I've been doing a little speculating, like mostly everybody.
I love it.
Yeah, a couple things I've been speculating on. One, just finished the Black Spire book. I don't know if you guys are caught up on that story at all.
No, I'm not, but I'm interested in hearing more about it. Is that the one that's connected to Galaxy's Edge, or am I way off?
No, exactly. Yeah,
okay.
It takes place Galaxy's Edge, and as far as I know, it's the only book that takes place after The Last Jedi, and it takes place, I believe, 4 months afterwards.
Okay.
And deals with Vi Marati, spy, working, trying to, get help for the Resistance, and they pretty much allude that in Savi's workshop they have, well, I guess just a bunch of lightsabers. I don't know, maybe not a bunch, but they allude that they have a few. So I'm just curious on whether or not you guys think that'll play into the new movie. And then to go along with the new movie, another thing I was speculating on, they show all the ships for, I think the Empire, the Emperor coming back and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was curious on whether or not you guys thought, I guess pilot all those, fill the whole crew. You're gonna need a lot of people. So what do you think about maybe bringing back Tamara Morrison as a clone, piloting all the ships and everything?
God, I love that.
Yeah. Thank you for your call.
Thanks, Kevin. That's awesome. It's a good question to speculate on. Who's piloting all those Star Destroyers in the last shot of that last trailer?
Yeah.
Could it be clones? Wouldn't that be great if Palpatine, if that's what he's doing, had another clone army ready to go and it was Tamara Morrison coming back?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it on paper, but it's a repeat.
So
it's a repeat.
So I'm going to take this conversation to a very strange place.
Oh, I like this. Okay, here we go.
So Tamara Morrison plays the baddie in 6 Days, 7 Nights. the Harrison Ford and Hayes movie.
That's right. Oh my God.
And if you guys want to see Harrison Ford do Han Solo and Indiana Jones all in one place at the same exact time.
Right, getting a snake out of her pants in the water.
Yeah. Go watch 6 Days, 7 Nights. And the main bad guy is
Tamora.
I
forgot about that. Okay.
But look, I have no idea, man. I am so lost. And I know people are like, why is he even doing a Star Wars show? I'm so lost with what the plot is supposed to be in these new sequels.
JJ is, at least for Rise of Skywalker, and he did this with Force Awakens, but we are playing right into his hands. He is doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
I saw Joker yesterday. They played the trailer. I saw Dark Ray again, clone Vision.
Oh, they played the same trailer, though,
Same
right?
trailer
Okay.
with Dark Ray, and I went, and I was really excited. But as it faded out and we went into the Joker, I went, there's no way that he's putting that out there. And that's a big part of the movie. That's a plot. That's a plot point that she's a clone. And oh my God, I'm a clone and all these things.
No, it's a total
It's a
misdirect.
vision. It's a misdirect. So that might be some of this. Let's get to this. I'm keeping up on the super chat here.
Cool.
Thank you guys for sending this. I have Abdul Alon's here. Hey guys, after seeing Joker, how would you feel if Star Wars decided to do a grounded character study of a Sith or becoming a Sith? So I'm going to tease something real quick.
Yeah.
We love Joker.
Yeah, we both do.
On this upcoming Reilly Roundtable, Fernandez is joining me. We're going to do we're going to talk about Joker.
Yeah.
I just
We're
want
gonna
to
do a full
tease that.
review.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a full review.
I loved the movie because of
Me too.
how it made me feel. I love it when movies take chances. This movie it was crazy. It made me so uncomfortable, and I love being made to feel something in a movie theater. This is why I like The Last Jedi so much, because it made me feel something that I couldn't stop thinking about it. Joker did the same thing. So to get to your question, I would love that.
I'd love it.
Are you kidding me? Darth Bane go into a character study on why he does what he does?
Yeah,
it
look-
could be Darth Bane. It could be... Hell, I would love it to see what Palpatine's doing, Darth Sidious, or Darth Plagueis, or just a Sith. I don't know. I think that there's... Once we start to get deeper into whatever Disney's going to do in the future...
Here's my only pushback on that. The difference between, and even though the Joker is definitely an anti-hero, right? And in Star Wars you have heroes and anti-heroes. It seems to me like the Joker plays into the possibility of being grounded in reality a lot more than somebody in the Star Wars universe, because already you're in another planet. Already you're an alien of sorts. You know, so it's like, yeah, you can set up things that are relatable, like in Battlestar Galactica,
Right.
that make it feel grounded. But ultimately, you exist in a world with space wizards and flying ships.
Yeah.
And it makes it more and more and more difficult to ground it, how grounded the Joker is, because the Joker ultimately is a movie that explores the dark side of how the infrastructure deals with mental illness.
Yep.
Class
politics.
Class politics.
Yep, the rich versus the poor.
Free health care versus paid health care.
It's...
You know,
I say it's a Trojan horse of a message inside a comic book movie.
Yeah.
It really is.
But I do think you can add some grit to Star Wars. I think you can add some of that masterful filmmaking that Todd Phillips brought to the table. And I hear you. Stories like Todd, like Darth Bane. The guy, spoiler warning for Darth Bane people, spoiler warning. Darth Bane kills his father with the Force without even knowing that he killed his father with the Force until 20 years later or whatever, he realizes, oh man, I killed my father with the Force.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't know how his father died.
Right.
And then it all comes rushing in as his realization, it was me who killed him.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
There's a lot of human stuff that you can have some fun with there, but it's going to be tough to get that same level of, like, ultra One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest realism that you get in the Joker, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there. When you do start talking about space wizards and laser swords, it's hard. But I think if the closest we're getting right now in the current Star Wars, I think is Mandalorian.
Right.
Could be just gritty, kind of boots on the ground kind of feel. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm excited. I would love a story. I think maybe the question is more like, would you be interested in a character study of a Sith?
Absolutely.
And Darth Revan is a big is a big one here that people are saying in the chat. Revan.
Yeah.
So let me go. I'm going down the list. I see your super chats. Jedi Master 677. I had a theory for Darkside Rey. I think the Knights of Ren are failed clones to recreate a chosen one, and Rey was the first successful clone. Eventually, she gets away, and they tried again, thus Dark Rey. That's a great theory.
Let me see. Say it one more time.
So I had a theory for Dark Rey.
Yeah.
I think the Knights of Ren are failed clones to recreate a chosen one. And that Rey was the first successful clone. Eventually, she gets away, and they tried again, thus Dark Rey. So essentially, Rey...
Oh, that's interesting. So you're saying all the Knights of Ren are female?
Either female or they were clones to replicate and or to recreate the chosen one.
First of all, that's a really smart theory. Jedi Master 677.
They don't call him Jedi Master for nothing.
Yeah, that's really cool. That would be a really fun reveal.
Wouldn't it be?
And it would make sense.
They're all clones. They pulled off their head.
They're
Oh my
all
god!
Rey. They're all Rey. Kylo. Why Kylo said what girl?
Yeah, there's something there. I like that. It could be.
And I talked about this on Jedi Council, and both Christian and Ken were wrong, and they said that it was Snoke who said that. It was Kylo who said that. And he knew there was something about a girl.
Right.
You know, so them being discarded clones and ending up as the Knights of Ren is not speculating responsibly, but it's speculating in a way that intrigues me. So it's a good theory.
It's a great theory. I really like that. I think that would be a really fantastic reveal if the Knights of Ren took off their helmets and they were clones. Now, whether it's Rey, that's a huge reveal that would be really cool to see. I kind of like it. I could also see it be Anakin, Luke, cloning. We have the hand in space. I don't. Here's what's bumming me out though. I don't think they're going to go full clone stuff and the hand stuff. I wonder how much they would want to do on that. But
yeah,
it really,
you got to take it easy on that stuff. I mean, look, I just want a good movie at this point, man. Like, I just want something that we can talk about on this show for the next 4 months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Pepper it in with a little Mandalorian, pepper it in with a little Clone Wars, pepper it in with some gaming stuff, and have a lot of fun Star Wars stuff to talk about. Because, man, if this movie is no good, or if it's teetering, or if it's divisive, or if it makes some dumb choices, or if it breaks the Star Wars sanctity, I mean, God, can you imagine what the next year is going to be like?
It's going to be intolerable.
It's going to be rough, and it's like I don't want that.
Maybe the Mandalorian will fix that, and we'll just be all on the Mandalorian side.
Can you imagine if the Mandalorian that adds to the heaping pile of? Yeah.
Then it would be. Here's what would happen. Kevin Feige would be on immediately. You would see that breaking news. Kathleen Kennedy would be off, and I think that's probably what we'd see. Yusan Tran says, JJ said that Kylo's repaired helmet in reference to the Japanese art and philosophy of kintsugi. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. How do you think this will factor into the movie? I'm not familiar with that Japanese art or philosophy. I do know that he did write something that that JJ, why is he repairing his helmet? And I'm not too sure how it fits into the story. Just that
I haven't. I've been trying to look. I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to stay away, and this is what happened. Season 8 of Game of Thrones was spoiled for me.
Was it really?
On Reddit.
Oh, yeah.
Weeks
you
before.
got to watch out that, yeah.
Weeks before, it was spoiled.
It's your own fault.
I know. It was my own fault.
Yeah.
And there's been so many leaks and plot points and all this stuff coming out that I'm trying to stay away from all this stuff. So I did see that there was like some buzz about him rebuilding the helmet and him actually using Darth Vader pieces.
Was that what it is?
In his helmet. But I've been staying away from that stuff, man. Like I really have.
I unfortunately call it occupational hazard. I've been seeing a lot because I'm collecting news not only for this show but for when I produce Jedi Council.
Sure.
So I am seeing a lot of this. JJ has confirmed a popular fan theory about Kylo Ren's repaired mask, referencing the Japanese art of kintsugi, also known as, I can't pronounce that. In a recent interview with Empire Magazine, let me go there, guys. Having him be masked but also fractured is a very intentional thing. Like that classic Japanese process of taking ceramics and repairing them, and how the breaks in a way define the beauty of the piece, that's what he's referencing, as much as the original itself. So as fractured as Ren is, the mask becomes a visual representation of that, and I could see that working for his character.
But it's also, I think, a kind of like an analog for The Last Jedi versus The Rise of Skywalker versus The Force Awakens, right? The Force Awakens was the unscathed helmet. Then the Rise of, the Last Jedi, their helmet was destroyed, and now he's like rebuilding the helmet. It's also kind of like the movies, right? I mean, like it goes along with what he's saying. He had his movie.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson made his movie, and now he feels like he needs to repair what Rian Johnson has done. Forget it whether you like it or not. Like that's not relevant. But in the perception of JJ, he's got a broken helmet.
Right.
And he's got to put it, put the pieces back together.
And he's putting the pieces back together because he still doesn't know who he is. He was fractured. I like that image in my mind. Or you can go with what Yogurt said in Spaceballs. Merchandise. Merchandising. We want the mask back on, so we sell the toys.
I wonder if sometimes Reilly goes home and says, man, I should have given The Last Jedi a C. Even though I loved it, I should have known. I should have had the foresight.
I've been
chill out on The Last Jedi just a little bit.
I love it so much.
You're the only one that I know that's been consistent from the moment you saw it.
And Ken Napzok,
and Ken, because Ken and I didn't talk about it too much.
Here's where I as it's it's in our past now, right? I've been able to go back and go, yeah, Cenobite sucks. I can't because I've seen it now enough times. That now I know when I get there, it's worn out. It's the same thing that happened with the
moment.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happens with the prequels. As these things sink in, there is stuff that really stands out to me where it's like the sheen of the Star Wars glow is off, and you can sit down and go, okay. And do people, color my opinion like you? Not really, but I value your opinion.
Of course. Yeah,
so when I hear your stuff,
yeah.
I go and I look at it through different eyes going, well, let's see. Cenobite really bugs me. But everything else I love, and I really, like I said, I talk about feelings. I could not stop thinking about what Luke Skywalker did by the end of The Last Jedi. And all night, that's all I couldn't sleep. And it's stuck with me ever since, and that's why I still love it to this day.
Okay.
Yeah. Really? You want to keep going? We have a caller.
All right,
are you calling to yell at me on The Last Jedi? This is Reilly and Fernandez. How are you?
Good. How are you, man?
Good.
I just had a quick insight, really. I guess more of like one of the most disappointing things that I've had, or at least through the trailer. Obviously, I guess things could change, but
sure.
The fact that they're continuing to reuse the Skywalker lightsaber and not have Rey, instead of putting back the pieces, being that she's not really a broken character,
right?
Maybe having her go with that dual blade idea that they had for the Dark Rey, since they obviously like the idea and the concept, and Ridley as an actor seems to move better with a staff than a saber.
Yeah.
Like, why do you guys think that they had no interest in having her show mastery of the Force, kind of like Luke did to echo the Return of the Jedi by making her
I'm
own
1,000% with you, dude. I'm 1,000% with you.
I'm with you as well, and I'll tell you, I'll be really disappointed if we go there and her lightsaber is, from what we've seen in the trailers, back together and no explanation. It's JJ, though. I think it's a misdirect, too. I think it's literally... this is what's interesting. I've told this story many times. I went to CinemaCon where they showed Into Darkness footage, a scene from the movie. By the time the movie came out, by the time the movie in the storyline, it was Khan. He was revealed to be Khan.
Right.
Okay? But in the footage I saw, everybody was calling him John Harrison.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So he put together an entire scene, and I'm not talking one scene, I'm talking 3 different scenes, where all the characters called him John Harrison, and everybody in CinemaCon went, oh, no, it's John Harrison. It's not Khan. Movie comes out, everything was changed. Khan was back in.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one, right?
Yep, Benedict Cumberbatch one.
Yeah.
So I think that we are getting a lot of marketing with that lightsaber. We're seeing it. We're seeing her use it. I'm wondering if that is all a misdirect as well. I don't know. Hopefully she rebuilds it and we see her master that skill, because I think it's important, to your point. Just like Luke Skywalker, we never saw him build it in Return of the Jedi, but we did get that great deleted scene.
We got the deleted scene, and we also got a Darth Vader saying you rebuilt your lightsaber, your training is almost complete. So, there was...
It was implied.
It was implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. I'm with you. I hope they will do. Will do it.
and like to me, and we've talked about it on this show even before that dark Rey scene came out. It's like we always said, well, obviously her next saber is going to be a staff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it has been talked about on the show a lot, but I don't know. After seeing that trailer, it does seem like she does fix Anakin's saber and she's still using it. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. It'll be a little bit disappointing, but I want to get to all these super chats here.
Yeah.
Jaredson videos beyond our small internet bubble. Most people liked The Last Jedi. Rotten Tomatoes said spammers affect online polls, but verified and critic reviews praise it at 90%. Check Cinema Score. As fans, should we acknowledge this fact? Acknowledge. I'm a little confused by the phrasing of the question. Acknowledge that spammers went in there. Acknowledge that, because I acknowledge that there is a big vocal bunch of people that don't like The Last Jedi. Yeah. I also acknowledge, at least by facts, that Rotten Tomatoes said there was some people going in and playing with the audience score.
Critics love this movie.
Critics did love the movie.
Critics love this movie. You can't deny that fact.
Yeah.
You also can't deny the fact that it made an incredible amount of money.
If you look at, I don't know what to acknowledge. If we're looking at the fact that it made $1.3 billion.
I think that Jaredson is right in saying that, yes, the hardcore fans are very divided on this movie. I think that the general movie-going audience probably liked it more than disliked it or thought it was okay. It was a cool Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
The critics loved it. I know everybody here at Collider loved it. Like all the critics that we have doing movies loved it.
Right.
And I'm not sure what the cinema score is on it, but I do know that the Rotten Tomatoes audience score isn't great on it.
No, it's not.
I think it's like in the 50s or something.
I'm going to the cinema score right now on the Last Jedi.
And I think that like the whole thing about saying that it was like bots is a little bit of an easy out.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is that a lot of fans didn't like the movie. You know?
And it has an A cinema score. So I don't know what you want to look into that.
I mean, what's the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes?
Oh, it's in the 40s. Let's see. Rotten Tomatoes.
It's in the 40s, right?
I think so. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
But look, it's okay to have disparaging scores between critics and fans. I mean, it is what it is. The movie was very well received by critics, and I can see why. I mean, it's a very well put together movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it on its own, if you look at it within the context of this wonderful franchise, I think it leaves things to be desired. But
44%, so it's low.
Yeah.
Cinema score. Look, I don't know what to believe. Really, I believe a lot of the discourse online. I see it.
I mean, look, but then again, I think about our own poll, right? Like, we have the Star Wars poll coming out. I'm worried that we're going to get spammed and botted.
Yeah, our friends over at Star Wars Newsnet put a poll out, and they were spammed. It was and they showed the screen grabs, and it was a bot that voted thousands of times over and over again, and the one comment that was left over and over again, thousands of times, was "The Last Jedi is trash," and it was just over and over and over and over and over again. Right. So. I don't know. You know what? I don't care. It's you make up your own decision. If you like it, great. If you don't, great. Go get a pizza. We have our next one. Ian Fitzpatrick. Are there moments in any trilogy that brought either of you to tears, either from circumstances or musical cues? Thanks again. Love the show.
That's a great question.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. Moments that brought me to tears in Star Wars.
I had nostalgia tears when Luke and R2 were on the Falcon in The Last Jedi. I had this, but that was like geek tears. That was like, and that was the shock of seeing it together and happen. But if I go back, to be honest with you, I get choked up during Empire Strikes Back and it's to this point, the musical cue gets me every time. It's my favorite musical cue in the saga. It's Lando, Chewie, R2, and Leia escaping Bespin, and R2 puts the smoke screen out. And they're running out of there, and the music swells, and there's this moment that the music that Williams does that is just filled with hope and despair at the same time, that they have to get out of there. Han's long gone, and it's life or death, and that music plays, and I go, oh, it just really is powerful for me.
Yeah. Look, I'm a crybaby in the movies. I've been known to not like wail crying, but definitely get choked up and get
That's me.
teary-eyed.
I do that sometimes.
I don't think I've ever gotten teary-eyed watching a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It invokes different feelings inside of me. I'm not sure tears is what it gives me.
Okay.
You know, like Silver Linings Playbook made me like tear up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, certain episodes of The Sopranos would get me all teary.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Star Wars never did that to me.
Do you think there might be an opportunity for The Rise of Skywalker to do it if it hits the right beats?
Oh,
for
man,
you?
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I welcome it.
Yeah.
I welcome it.
Ronald Sykes writes, love the show, guys.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry. Somebody here just wrote, Fernandez, are you bummed about the Black Bishop reveal? Is there a Black Bishop reveal? I'm not aware of that.
Uh-oh. Spoilers, dude. Watch out.
Yeah, if there's a Black Bishop reveal that I'm not aware of because it's out in the press or something, send in a comment or maybe call in. Let me know what's going on with that. I as far as I know, the Black Bishop. I mean, which reveal are you referring to? The one that of his wife that he was married. That reveal, or did somebody else come on and actually say who he was?
Was that a super chat question? I just want to make sure.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was just interesting. All right.
Ronald Sykes, love the show, guys. With all the changes to Dan and Dave deal and the Dan and Dave deal, do you think they still do their movies? Does Disney still not have a plan? We kind of refer to it, Ronald. You heard something, Fernandez? I can kind of guess who you might have heard it from based on what you said earlier in the show.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear. This is what's interesting. They were hired before Game of Thrones season came on air. They were hired to do this via Lucasfilm and Disney. Then the Game of Thrones stuff happened. Then soon after, we hear that they're only writing a treatment now and not all 3 movies. And then we started to hear stuff. So then they also signed a $500 million deal over at Netflix to go make shows over there. I don't know. It seems like there's something heading in that direction that maybe they're off of it. That's what I've heard. Or not what I've actually heard. I've heard whispers, and I'm looking at reports.
Look, man, the bottom line is...
It doesn't seem...
The bottom line is that Star Wars has become a big cluster F.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got tons of creative minds in there. No one's really shepherding the ship. One of the theories that I've heard that I actually think holds the most water, I think you told it to me. And I don't know if you made it up or what the hell you said.
I don't know. Maybe I made it up. I like it.
I think that Kathleen Kennedy might be doing the buck stops here and taking a lot of responsibility for this stuff. Mm-hmm. When in reality, I think that Bob Iger is the one that's actually screwing this up.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about like things that come out in the...
I think Kat Kennedy might be getting a bad rap out of this. But then again, why would she stick around?
I've heard that.
If she sticks around, then she's complicit to it.
I've heard that...
I've also heard people inside there don't like her. I've heard that.
Yeah, I've heard that
I'm not making that up. I've heard that from multiple people.
I've heard that, and I've heard that Iger has made a lot of decisions that Kathleen Kennedy is getting bashed for.
Right.
I've heard that, yeah. And, then Bob Iger comes out with this book. So it's like, what happens when that... You said it best.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like he's atoning for something.
Right. He's apologizing.
He's apologizing with some of these carefully selected things that are coming out into the media here. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, George was kind of pissed. Why are you saying that when The Rise of Skywalker is coming out? You had the best version of it, which is like he's making atonement. He's apologizing. So... Ian Fitzpatrick has a typo shame. I have no idea what it is. Thank you for the super chat for that, though. But we do have a caller. You're on Rule of Two. What's your name? Yeah.
Yeah, I already have it. I've been thinking about it. Hold on.
Yeah, turn off your if your thing's on there. We might have a
Hello?
echo. Hello there.
You're on the air.
Hey, I wanted to ask a question. I know you both played KOTOR 1 and 2 and all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what do you think about Kreia? You know how she, do you know who she is from KOTOR 2 at all? She was she was Revan's teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played it in years.
About, like her philosophy around the Force and all, like how it manipulates like how the Force like you have like a give and take to it almost, like a yin and yang. And I was wondering if you think like Star Wars at all would ever go in that way at all.
I mean, I think the yin and yang kind of stuff. Are you talking about like a
The light and
balance
the
that
dark.
you always need light and dark? I feel like
no, wait, like throughout the game, how she will describe to the main character, she would always like everything you did has a reaction to it, no matter if it was good or evil in the game. Do you think like it would ever like Star Wars would ever like have like a storyline or like a series in a way to show that or express that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember this from the game for the life of me, so I can't.
She's not a Twi'lek, but she's kind of got that vibe to her.
Right.
Or maybe not. Maybe she was human.
She was human.
Yeah, she was human. But
So when you say yin and yang, are you kind of going like gray, right? And not gray Jedi.
It ends up because she was a Jedi at first. Jedi ended up she follows Revan during the Mandalorian Wars.
Yeah.
You kind of have like this. You don't know where she is at that point. Then she pops up in KOTOR 2, and you end up meeting her. She ends up being a Dark Lord. Then they end up kicking the shit out of her in a sense. Sorry for my language.
No, you're fine. You're fine. we cursed earlier. We're well past it.
All right, well, look, thank you very much for the call. We'll ponder on that one a little bit. But look, I actually need to learn a little bit more about this character. Like, I remember the character.
I do too.
She
but
was kind of like the person kind of walking you through the story in the second one.
Yeah, it's been so long.
The Obsidian one.
It depends. I think that there's something about, for me at least, picking up on this, something about balance that is being played throughout this trilogy. If they go there, so gray, I don't know.
Here's my grumpy moment of the week. Okay.
Okay.
And like this should be a segment. Okay, this should be my Cody should put rain sounds and sad music because this is my grumpy moment of the week.
I like this.
Star Wars. I think Star Wars has. It's funny because it's got more things in production than ever, and I think it's more lost than ever. Like I have no idea where the hell it's going.
Yeah,
a lot of the great conversation either happens about the past, right? Where we especially us prequelists, we love saying Obi-Wan lines or quoting the prequels, having fun with that. Or it comes with reminiscing how good the original trilogy was. Or it comes in trying to figure out. There it is.
He's doing it. This is why Cody's the best.
There it is. Yeah, just keep it playing. Or it comes in trying to figure out what's going to happen in the future.
Yes, unpack that. Keep going.
Right? Nobody talks about the present of Star Wars.
Well, what present?
I mean, we just had two movies and a friggin' Solo and Rogue One. Nobody talks about what's happening now. Yeah. It's all about what's going to happen in the future, or let's reminisce about the past.
I know. It's very un-Jedi-like.
Yeah.
You got to be focused on the now.
Yeah, there it is. Cody. And somebody told me, a wise Jedi once told me, okay, if you're obsessed with the past, you're depressed.
And you're going to be forced to repeat it.
Yes. If you're obsessed with the future,
yep,
you're anxious and you're stressed out.
That's very true.
Only when you focus on the present can you be at peace.
This is the greatest.
Thank you, Cody.
Let's unpack that. How does that make you feel when you finally get it out, Marc Fernandez?
But you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
All right, we got
I'm with
another
you.
super chat here. Left hand. I love
Left
that.
hand. With Kevin Feige coming into the mix, do you think they will expand to Aboleth and that part of the Star Wars timeline? Ooh, that's a deep cut.
Jedi Master 677 also snuck one in there without us seeing.
Okay, and where's that one?
Oh, and Keegan Die Ringer.
No, we answered those. Jedi. Oh wait.
Do you think there's
No,
any
I
chance
did. Jedi Master coming in again. I missed that as well. To go to the previous one we just talked about, Aboleth. That's like the Night Sisters, right? And the powerful. What was it? It was like
the Night Sisters from Dathomir.
No, it was the bringer of chaos, and it was the something that went to the dark side and also went to the light side and knows both sides. I'm not very familiar with it, so
from what, Clone Wars?
I believe Clone Wars, but I think it was in Legends as well. And I think it had something to. I think Mara Jade was told a story about it in the Thrawn trilogy with Luke.
Okay, I don't remember that.
So I don't know,
Anyway.
but I don't know if they'll
Sorry,
ever go
guys,
there. But
we're not doing a good job today.
we're not the canon junkies, That's why Ken Knapsack knows it. But Jedi Master 677, if we go off of the Aboleth, which I know was in Legends, and he says, should Lucasfilm continue Legend stories as books for fans of the EU? I personally will always think of EU as canon, though I do like new canon as well. No, I mean, that ship has sailed. I think they're not going to write any new novels and say, well, this is just Legends. They're not going to waste their time. They're going to connect it to canon. So, unfortunately, no. I would love to see. I think what we're going to see in the future is some of those Legend books are going to make its way into canon. You saw that with Thrawn. I think Mara Jade will show up sooner or later.
I think so. So look, we're gonna put an end to the calls right now. We're gonna power through the last of these. So apologies for everybody who was on hold on the calls. Call in next week. We'll try to get you on then. Ellie Puffelis, do you want Anakin in The Rise of Skywalker? Should Anakin be in The Rise of Skywalker?
Yes.
In what way would it actually make sense for Anakin to be in The Rise of Skywalker? I'm with Reilly. Yes.
And in what way to make sense? He's a Force ghost.
Also, it would make sense to have him be a part of the resolution of the so-called Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I mean, there was something that was said at the end of The Last Jedi, see you around, kid. It got me thinking about Luke Skywalker literally haunting his nephew and trying to warn him.
It's probably my favorite line in the entire Last Jedi was see you around, kid.
What would it be like for Grandpa to come in there and go, listen, dude, no. You don't want this. Yeah. You don't want this. At one point, JJ was talking about a Darth Vader kind of Force ghost, like a mix between Darth Vader and Anakin. You don't like that? The idea.
I just don't like the fact that Luke is dead. Luke died before his time in this trilogy. Yes.
How do you feel, really, though?
I mean, thank you.
Because Luke Skywalker, did he not hug you enough when you were little?
He really did it. All right, so David McLeod, Project Luminous Theories, ? I have no idea what that is.
I read about this earlier, and I love this.
In Rebels...
In Rebels, we learn about the Empire stealing Force children, unresolved story point, and now Rey clone rumors, thoughts. Project Luminous, there's a lot in here. So Project Luminous apparently is going to be a line of books that take place after The Rise of Skywalker. And they revealed it at New York Comic Con, and it basically says for 1,000 generations, there were the Jedis, and the Force is what? No, it's...
for 1,000 generations.
It's the Force is what binds the universe together until Project Luminous. So there's something that they're hinting that has to do with the Force. And when they use the quote from Obi-Wan in A New Hope, which, well, the Force is what gives a Jedi his power, and that's until Project Luminous, it makes me think that there's something that might happen after the last Rise of Skywalker. What, they figure out how to combat the Force, take away Force powers, something in the book? Glad they'll keep it to the book, because if it happens in the movie, nope.
Superman 2 style?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You want another one? Time travel for me? Nope, I'm out. If all of a sudden the First Order shows up and we go, we got something, and it's a machine that takes away the powers of a Jedi, I'm out.
Well, look, Heir to the Empire, Thrawn had that weird animal, that cat-like animal that suppresses Force powers.
That's fine. That's, to me, in-world.
It's like a kryptonite. It's like a Force kryptonite.
It's a Force kryptonite. It's in-world. It makes sense.
It's a special animal that has this gift.
Watto was that character in Phantom Menace.
Right.
Your Force, they work on me. No, Republic credits do work. No. Because he was immune to the Force. He had a special kind of power that was inherent in his...
And Darth Bane talks, or in the Darth Bane novels, they talk about Force shield as being a passive power as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if something is man-made and it's brought in the last movie as a weapon,
oh god, it would be.
Wouldn't
terrible.
That be awful?
That would be awful.
Yeah.
All right, Keegan Dyringer says, what do think are the chances that we see Dax in the Obi-Wan series? What do we think are the chances we see Dax in the Obi-Wan series? I think they're high.
What, that they're putting Dex in there?
I think it's high.
What do you think? What do you mean high?
I think.
High that he's going to be in there. I thought he was. I thought it was something like, I think you're high if you think Dex is showing up. I'm like, huh?
No, I think the chances are high. Look,
yeah, I do too.
There's also been a rumor that Dex getting his own cooking show. So look, we haven't seen the last of Dex.
No, I think it would make a lot of sense.
Jedi Master 66 came in with another hot one. Legend Stories. Blah, blah, blah. Think the EU is canon. Yeah,
no, we answered that.
We talked about that.
The last one we have is Travnar. With success of classic World of Warcraft, maybe SWG Return, Star Wars Galaxy's Return.
Oh, wow.
That's on you, man. What do you think?
So first of all, I actually funded my own SWG emulator server. And about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, we played the hell out of it. And we got up to about 1,000 concurrents on that EMU, and it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. I play a little bit on Legends now, but Legends is a NGE emulator. It's not the old pre-CU one. God, I would love that. You know, look, my dream is to one day be able to make a game like Star Wars Galaxies and partner up with the beautiful people at Disney to actually put something like that together.
Yeah.
Look. Star Wars Galaxies is the greatest game ever made, in my opinion. And anybody who plays it and actually gives it the time understands why it's so beautiful.
Right.
And we haven't seen a game like that since then. You know, stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2 gets close to it in terms of its intention. I mean, obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2 is on a completely different planet when it comes to how sophisticated it is, technically speaking. Game design-wise, I thought SWG was the greatest. Will we ever see another one like that? God, I hope so.
I would love that. And I just want to end it here, guys, because thank you for joining us. Paige Roberts, we didn't really talk about, take any other chats other than super chats, but Paige Roberts says, Luke sacrificed himself to save the galaxy. I don't know how that isn't the most Luke thing he can do. Thank you very much. I agree with that 100%. You are right, Paige. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paige. And thank you, Jedi Master, for being here since the first episode of Jedi Council. We really appreciate it. And hopefully you'll stick around.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us here. It is episode 61 of Rule of Two.
Go vote.
The description, you have the link now, so you can go vote at Collider.com. You're going to rank your favorite Star Wars movies, put them in order. We have no idea what it's going to turn out to be. In fact, the fun part of this, we're going to film the video. Yeah. We're going to sit down for the interview, and we're going to be revealed how it shook out. And so you're going to get a very honest reaction of whether or not Empire Strikes Back lands at number 1.
Which I think it will. But if you're going to bot the hell out of it, bot for the good guys. Bot one for the good guys.
Bot one for the you're not biased at all, man.
I mean, like, do you guys think that it's going to get botted? I hope it doesn't get botted.
Well, we have things in place that we're making sure that doesn't happen. We are making sure that happens.
We have things in place.
We have things in place. We have force powers in place. We have all these things in place. So you can go in there and vote, hit the link, and also drop in some comments. What are the things you want us to talk about next show? We do read them. Thank you very much for joining us and doing this super chat and phone call chat.
Ken Benobi, the number to call in, you can see it at the bottom of the screen. It says it puts the number there. It's not there right now, but in the future, right underneath Star Wars speculation, it says call in now, and it gives you the number. Yeah, we open up the phone lines, but we wanted to hit your super chat. Thank you for playing along, for sending those great questions. It's really fun talking to you guys. We're going to do it a lot. We want to include you more as we're moving forward, not only in Rule of Two, but a lot of the shows, getting your voice heard, especially in this voting for the best Star Wars movies, the top Star Wars movies all time, what your ranking is. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. We're trying to get a lot of voices in here to talk about that. Look, let us know if you want us to make more of those like little Star Wars fan film type things. I had a lot of fun making that. I had fun too. That was a lot of fun. Anytime you can give me a lightsaber and I can screenshot it, send it to my dad, and go, see, Dad? Yeah. My acting wasn't great. Your acting was really good. Oh, thank you. Your acting was great, dude. My acting was, it was fun. I had to do a few ADR moments in the booth just to get some of the performance right. But well, that's fine. I mean, a bunch of us had to. But guys, thank you for joining us on episode 61 of Rule of Two. It is a celebration of Star Wars. That's what we like to do here. We like to talk about it. Drop in those comments. If you see that bell right there and you're not subscribed, subscribe, to Collider Video. This drops every Monday live at 5 p.m. PT, and you can hear us here on the Collider Jedi Council Podcast 1
podcast feed if you're listening at home. So we'll see you next week on an all-new Rule of Two.
Rise.